So this is radio frequency energy that's being pulsed into the house here. And it's not only just radio frequency, it's creating a phenomenon in physics where it's creating a sound and infrasound as well as bone conduction, as well as the microwave auditory effect, which is creating brain stress and then sound pressure waves inside of our heads. And this can be done without nanotechnology. It just becomes more advanced, more modern with it. So now listen when I dial this baseband noise blanker filter on. It's going to turn into the tempo and tone of a female voiceless call that I'm here with constantly, continuously. And the more I dial this, the more it'll sound human. So it went from a beep, and that's the same tempo, to all the way over here, you hear the speech tempo, and you hear more of what sounds like speech. So this is a digital tracking tool that these pulses can be coded to contain the speech inside of it. And at different levels, different classifications, people are told different things. So one person that may be a representative or a person doing an audit on this, if they're informed, hey, this is just to track people, to make sure they're in the right place at the right time, they're not committing crimes. If they are committing crimes after the fact, we can say, hey, they were here, they were there. Well, this system could easily be turned into a torture system. Instead of just tracking a person, this is communicating to a person every single time using microwave auditory effect. And that's something that, rest in peace, Dr. Robert Duncan talked about, talking targets to their deaths using this type of warfare software. And I've lived this for just about a decade now, and I know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is that easy to prove that this is happening with this type of tool. With this type of tool, we're constantly reading in the extreme value, and I'm being pulsed religiously with this type of bullshit. And it's not just harassment, it's also an attack on my brain, on my body, and we're constantly in the extreme value. So these two things go hand in hand. Although this is receiving at a very low range of radio frequencies, with modern microwave engineering and physics, you can create sound in either a target or in the environment using the same radio frequency range that this is receiving, in addition to a variety of other frequencies that we know are in place, like HARP. So it's happening without a doubt. And to get technical on each other about how it's happening is a waste of our time. Kind of. Like it is and it isn't, unless we're working to try to engineer something to block it or to stop it, in which case get as technical as you want. But this activity is happening on sound card in this low range of frequencies. So this is 0 hertz. This is in 5 kilohertz, 10 kilohertz. And I'm sitting this at 136 hertz right now. However, we still have terribly strong activity happening in the gigahertz range as well. And that's got an encrypted message as well inside of it, as you can tell, within 5 seconds of turning this thing on. So they're able to do that at that strong, heavy tone, and these little undertones. All of that could be communication, and it's just a fact. So this works. These tiny assays work also on showing us activity. And it's not happening in just one range. The radar D range starts at 1 megahertz, and then the gigahertz HPM range of just using a microwave in a specific modulation type, or just hitting a person constantly with it. There's so many different ways to harm people with radio frequencies. And you know, if there's one time to say, congratulations, the United States definitely knows what the fuck they're doing as far as harming people with radio frequencies. They're probably the best in the world at it. And it would just be great if they could use this for actual wars that don't take social engineering, narrative control, or anything, and stop harming United States citizens with it. That's my only request.